Let's keep digging in on that point, Ed. So, what trends are you seeing in AI that are really around the adoption curve, right? Where are your partners getting stuck as customers come to them and say, I'm here, 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 here. I mean, throw an octopus up there with 8 arms. They have no idea where the point is. So,
Yeah.
where are those trends? What are those trends? And where are people getting stuck?
I think a lot of them are, first of all, we go back to the earlier point. I think most of them don't know where they want to go. They know they need to use this, and they don't, or they have, they're buying more than what they can chew. And there's things that you can do with AI that enhance efficiencies and productivity. One of the earlier things that they did is obviously with Microsoft Office 365 and leveraging those things. And so part of the challenge is the end customer not really. I want to buy AI. Well, AI is not a SKU. You're not going to buy this stuff. You got to understand what it's going to do for you as an end customer. So part of that, and then I think the other part of this is that, um, and this is where we got to help define those things. We got to define discrete use cases. We do things around computer vision that allows them to, for advanced enhanced security, and like in hospitality or event venues, or in hospitals, or in other areas that this type of solution would come to play. We're doing things around so we're trying to find those solutions that could be that have a discrete outcome that will actually produce something for a discrete end customer, because of the fact that a lot of these things end up going back to the earlier point. When they don't know where they're going, then it stays in a POC environment. So we've learned some lessons regarding that. So we're trying to help our partners identify their customer base and find out things that will produce a discrete outcome now with the customer, and then they can build that out and start to do it much more departmentally first, and moving more to a larger environment. The other thing we're looking at, Rick, as well, is that the interesting thing is that I went earlier that I talked about the infrastructure, that you need the infrastructure to be able to deploy the application. CTOs know they need to be able to do this. And you cannot run an AI. It's not a matter of if, or it's a matter of when you're going to do agentic AI. It's our Gen AI. It's going to happen. So your infrastructure has to be set up to be able to support that. However, they're running into a challenge with the rest of the C-suite within their company about, how do I justify the ROI in advance of the deployment of the application? And what we're trying to do is basically help bridge that gap through creative financial opportunities where you can start to upgrade. We already know what the sizes that you need for some of these deployments, but doing something like a capacity on demand, right? Where an end customer can purchase the system that they need now, and actually build for the future. And you look at Cisco, you look at and NetApp, you look at Dell, HPE, IBM. All of them know they need an infrastructure to support the application, and we're trying to help them bridge that gap. Our partners are having conversations with the end customer, and we're trying to, as we see these barriers, we're doing what we can, leveraging our core value to market to reduce those barriers and to start to establish those that that bridge the chasm, right? Because you're right. And I think there's going to, over time, as more use cases get developed, and you start to see things like with Salesforce, these agentic, predefined agentic AI, and I think this, you're going to start seeing from the cloud organization, Microsoft Microsoft AWS and others, where they're going to have things where they can just be leveraging things off the shelf, if you will, to deploy. And as as it becomes propagated, I think this will become more the lack of clarity what an end customer wants. It's clear. So I think those are the kind of things that we're trying to identify and then try to mitigate with things that we have in our portfolio.